So there could be some storage issues for the PlayStation 5 particularly, and the Xbox Series X going into the next generation of consoles. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So as we know, going into the next generation of consoles, especially based off of this generation, games are massive, 50, 60, 70 gigabytes. And it looks like into the next gen, they will be even bigger than that, reaching over 100 gigabytes for a AAA game. Now, this is going to cause issues because on the PlayStation 5, there is 825 gigabytes of storage on that SSD, and on the Xbox Series X, there is 1 terabyte of storage. Now, this is going to cause issues because, as we know, with the Xbox Series X been giving out to many influencers and YouTubers, we can see that out of that 1 terabyte, you're only going to have about 802 gigabytes to work with for playing games. And it looks like with these rumors, obviously have not been confirmed, but look pretty convincing, there will only be about 664 gigabytes of usable storage out of the box. Now, this comes from a Reddit user, a Russian Reddit user, showing these pictures of the user interface that potentially has been leaked as well. This here being the opening screen where you select which profile you're using on the PlayStation 5. Then continues to go into the storage options, and you can clearly see here that there's only a total of 664 gigabytes available for game downloads. There's some more pictures here of the UI leak. These are pictures taken with a camera. When stuff like this comes out, it's always kind of interesting because it's like they probably use an external camera to kind of show that it's real. Maybe, I'm not 100% sure, because you could easily just take a screenshot of this or use a recording device to show it, but these are kind of weird pictures. They're obviously pretty blurry, but apparently this is what the UI is going to look like. Now, this is very interesting because we haven't seen the UI of the PlayStation 5 yet, and to me that tells me there's a reasoning why we haven't seen it. It may not be complete. Sony either is waiting for a special event, maybe like in a couple of weeks just before the launch, even though we're already in October, to show it off, or they're hiding something, or there's something they don't want you to see because it may not be as ready as they thought. And there's no reason to not show it off unless there's something they don't want you to see, in my opinion. I could be completely wrong. It just doesn't really make sense, because if you remember with the PlayStation 4, when they announced the PlayStation 4, they had a deep dive into the user interface for it. It was one of the first things we saw about the PS4. And with the PS5, we've seen absolutely nothing. All we've seen is the console, the price point, and then the potential games coming out. And I know obviously consoles are for gaming, the games are king, that's all that really matters. But there's definitely some features in there that you kind of want to see before purchasing the console itself, or at least before it's released. So this could be the leaked UI. There isn't that much to show, and it's also being shown off here with a black PS5 controller, which I haven't seen that yet. I've only seen the white ones, which is odd. So this is obviously a development unit, if anything. And then there were some more pictures leaked about the PS5, and it is those plates on the side where we've gotten some information pretty much that you're going to be able to take those off, and hopefully they're going to be like the 360 where you could put customized plates on the side of the PS5. That would be really, really cool, so you could always have your own personalized custom PlayStation 5. We've also seen pictures of the stand. So this is the stand that's going to be holding up the PS5 when you're putting it vertical, and I'm thinking with the size of the PS5, you're most likely going to have it vertical. Now, like this article says, take it with a grain of salt, because it isn't impossible to 3D print these objects. But I mean, if you're going to 3D print something, why would you 3D print the stand and the place? There's definitely more interesting stuff you could 3D print for the PS5, and some more stuff that kind of makes it skeptical, especially with how fast that SSD is in the PS5. They're saying it takes about 20 seconds to boot, which isn't much faster than the PS4 Pro. Now, if it did take 20 seconds, I mean, with how fast they're saying the SSD is, it would be a little bit disappointing, but it's pretty realistic, honestly, if you think about it. Even though it was about that speed with the PlayStation 4 Pro, it's still gonna take 10 to 20 seconds probably to start these consoles up. There's a test here already from Jeffrey Grubb's YouTube channel where he does a cold boot of the Xbox Series X, and I think it took about 19 seconds from a cold boot to start it up to the main menu, which is still very lightning fast, especially when you think about cold booting the Xbox One and how much longer that takes to start up. Like, boom, it's right there. So the SSDs are going to be a game changer for everyone getting a next generation console. And I think we finally got our first real look at the PS5 now in all of its glory, right here from this picture on Twitter. And this is a Japanese influencer, YouTuber, with the PlayStation 5. And this, out of all the pictures I've seen, looks actually real. So this is pretty much what it's going to look like. This is what it's going to look like on the stand, and man, it is a beast of a console. Now, getting back to the storage and that being an issue, the Series X is actually doing something really cool that I really hope PlayStation 5 does as well, and it's that they're going to give you the option to have control over your storage if the developers opt in, basically allowing you to install and uninstall certain parts of the game that you're playing so that you can free up storage for other stuff. So the best example would be games with multiplayer and single player. If you play the single player campaign, you're done with it, you're going to be able to uninstall that single player campaign, and then you're going to be able to just have the multiplayer on there so you can put more stuff onto that SSD. Now, clearly this is going to be something that third parties will have to put in, but you can best believe that all of the Microsoft or the Xbox Studio games are going to have this feature. So you're going to be able to have some flexibility there on how you store things. Plus, you're also going to have an extra 200 gigabytes of storage with the Xbox Series X, about 150 to 200 gigabytes of storage extra. So there's that as well. The storage thing is definitely going to be an issue for some people. I mean, I personally would rather have those faster SSDs and less storage than obviously the slow hard drives and more storage. So it's not that big of a deal for me, because like I'm gonna maybe install the few games that I'm playing on the SSD, then have everything else on an external hard drive or an external enclosed SSD. And then when I'm ready to play, I'll just transfer that on to the internal SSD, because we've seen the transfer times and they're pretty fast. So it's not like you're going to be sitting there for hours like you'd have to now to transfer games over from one hard drive to another. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I just want to talk about the storage issues that we're going to most likely be running into the next generation. Let me know what you guys think about this. Are you upset about these storage issues? Is this going to cause you problems? I would really love to hear your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to stay up to date on all the next generation information, as well as see videos of the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 when they're released, because I will be getting both on day one, and I'm very excited to make videos on that. Thank you guys all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.